Hi, welcome. My name is Rachel. To everyone who is returning, no, that's not how it goes. Hello, welcome. Hi, to everyone who is new here, my name is Rachel. And to everyone who is returning, hey, what's up? How's it going? My throat is a little bit sore. Don't know why. Today, what I thought that I would do is I would do all the books that I am planning on rereading this year. I am a huge rereader. If you've watched my videos, you know this. I talk about it all the time. Of course, I have a list of books that I want to reread this year, and it's fairly long. It's longer than I thought it was going to be. Please let me know in the comments below what books you enjoy rereading, if you have a list. If you even like rereading books. I'm gonna ask my questions at the beginning because I feel like people maybe don't make it to the end of my videos. That's the question today. And also tell me how you're doing. Genuinely. I know that I've said that previously in a video, but how are you? Let's go ahead and get started because I've got a pretty decent list here. So, okay. The first book I have actually already started to reread the series, and it is the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I know it's not actually Lemony Snicket, but Lemony Snicket. I have been seriously enjoying it. I haven't reread these since middle school. I'm on the 4th book now. It's just been so fun seeing the difference in how I read and how I read it then and what I remember from then versus what I'm getting now. This has been fun. I highly recommend going back and reading some of your old childhood favorites. The next book that I am going to read is another series. I do this series all the time. I probably reread it 3 or 4 times now, and it is Eragon by Kristoff Paolini. I just miss this world. I miss Aragon, I miss Saphira, I just miss it, and so I want to reread it. This is what Lord of the Rings is to some, Aragon is to me. This is my classic high fantasy book. I miss them, I miss this world, and I know that once I start reading it, I'm gonna love it because I always do. I don't know why, but this series just always hits. Maybe it's just the classic hero's journey that I love. I love this series so much. So I'm excited to reread this one. The next book is one that I've actually already reread, but it was still on my list, and I'm so glad that I reread it, and I enjoyed rereading it so much that I just felt like I should include it, and it is 1+1 by Jojo Moyes. This, I feel like, is one of her books that doesn't get any hype, and yet it's my favorite of hers. It's not a sad one. I'm not a big sad book girly, especially a sad romance girly. So Me Before You, I just couldn't do it. But this one, I absolutely loved. It's another, it's kind of a romance, but also more just like about life and this family that's really down on their luck and this guy who is uber selfish, and you throw them together in a road trip and it's a good time. This one was just so much fun to read. I forgot how much I loved it, and so I'm so glad that I reread it because I think that I'll keep rereading this in the future just because I had such a good time. So 1+1. The next book that I want to reread, and it is one that I want to reread specifically because this author is coming out with another book in this series, is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This one, I just remember the first time reading it and being obsessed with it. I'll be honest, I don't remember what all happened, but I just remember loving it so much. I just raced through it. Like, I had to order the other books immediately because I couldn't find them anywhere else. Remembering that feeling, I'm like, okay, I gotta reread. Also, I love V.E. Schwab. I love her writing style, so I just know that this one is going to be a good time, and especially with the new book coming out, still in this world, I'm so excited to see. I'm so excited to see what she does. I'll be really fascinated to see how it goes. And so I'm very excited. I know I'm going to have to wait to reread this one until closer to when the next book is coming out, because I know that I'm going to be obsessed and I'm going to know that I'm going to need that next book real fast. So I'm going to wait on this one until the next book comes out, and then the reread is going down. The next book that I have that I want to reread that I actually haven't thought about in so long, and it wasn't until I was making my nostalgia books video that I saw it and I was like, oh wait, I remember really enjoying this. I don't remember necessarily what all happened and if I would still like it now, but I want to reread it to see, because I do remember when I read it being very interesting, and that is Illuminae by Amie, Kaufman, and J. Kristoff. This is a trilogy, so another one, and it is a YA, sci-fi, dystopian, futuristic book, but how it's written is like it's very different. Look at it. It's like almost art. Different ship logs, because they're on 2 spaceships, 2 space stations, and I just remember it being very interesting and just getting swept up in it and the different relationships that happen in here, but also the story that is going on in there and the plot. And so I'm very fascinated to reread this. I feel like it's going to be a fast reread, even with how chunky the book looks. I know that I love J. Kristoff's writing. I've talked about his books a lot on this channel, and I really enjoy Amie as well, so I'm excited to reread this and see how my feelings are. Out of all the books, this may be the one that potentially I don't enjoy as much, just because I don't remember, but I hope I do, obviously. I want to enjoy the books that I have. Okay, the next book that I have that I really want to reread is True Believer by Nicholas Sparks. I got this book again, like a few months ago, and I don't know if I've read it since high school. I really want to reread it just because I know that this book was my favorite out of all of his, and so I just want to see if it still is, and I want to see how I relate to it now as a grown-up versus when I was like a 16-year-old girl. That changes things, like if I'm gonna love it even more, or if I'm gonna be like, oh, just kidding, I don't like it. You know, I'm just very curious to see what my feelings are about it, just because I remember being so obsessed. I'm assuming I'm gonna really enjoy it. I'm assuming it's gonna be another 1+1, but I feel like I've talked about this book before on my channel. Small town romance, a big city guy and a small town girl. They fall in love, and they both have a past, and they work through it together. Anyways, you know with Nicholas Sparks, it's gonna have some drama to it, but also I remember this one probably being his least dramatic one. I mean, you think about A Walk to Remember, The Notebook, Best of Me. Like, we got a lot of murders and deaths and memory loss. So, I mean, out of all of that, I feel like this was like the least dramatic, and maybe that's why I liked it. And last, but certainly not least, one of my absolute favorite books to reread. It's a whole series, and it is the Throne of Glass series. I like to do now an annual reread of these. I just love them so much. I will say though, I have to be ready to do it. Like, I almost have to mentally prepare, just because I know I'm going to be so invested in these books, even though I know what's going to happen, even though I have already gone on this journey with them. I love it so much every single time I read it. I just can't stop myself. Like, I rush through them. I'm hoping that this time I will pace myself, maybe do 1 or 2 books a month, not go overboard with it and do them all in like a week. I am so excited to get back into this world. I know it's gonna hurt. I know I'm gonna cry. When I first read this series, I did not read it with the novella, with the prequel. I did it once last year. I read it with the prequel, The Assassin's Blade, and it was fine. I liked The Assassin's Blade for the lore, but it's just so hard for me to read. I mean, those who have read it, you know, Sam that's it. It's just so hard for me to read it with that. Like, I remember just sobbing during that, and I don't know if like my heart could really take that. I don't think I'm gonna read it with Assassin's Blade. That may be controversial. I prefer to just move directly into the story. Let's start with Dorian, Kale, Aelin. I'm so excited. Just saying their names makes me so excited to be with them again, because they're just... I just get so giddy with this series. Gosh, I'm such a nerd. I hope everyone has a series that they love to read and reread as much as I enjoy rereading Throne of Glass. That's what I hope for everyone. Anyways, so this one, I am so excited. Okay, and that is it for all the rereads, I mean, this is a lot of series. I've got a lot of series that I'm gonna have to get through, and it's gonna be a lot. This is probably at least like 20, 30 books to do like the series with these. Saying that's it. Psh, I mean, geez, maybe don't do as much. Okay. That is it for today's video. Let me know what your favorite books to reread are, or if you like to reread them, or if you have a series that you reread that gives you that same feeling that Throne of Glass gives to me. Would also be very interested to hear that. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or subscribe if you want to. It'd be really great if you did. It would really help me out, but also you do you. With that, I will talk to you all again soon. Bye!